Imagine showing up to work every day, giving everything you've got, and still feeling invisible. You train the new hires, cover shifts, keep the pharmacy afloat, and for what? Low pay, no recognition, and burnout so heavy it feels like a second job in your head. If that hits too close to home, listen up. Because today we're breaking down why pharmacy techs are some of the least satisfied workers in healthcare, and more importantly, how to take back your power. Welcome back to Pharmacy Tech Unfiltered, the podcast where we say the quiet parts out loud. I'm your host, Elena Rutka, and if you've ever felt burned out, stuck, or completely invisible in your pharmacy tech job, then you're in the right place. Before we dive in, make sure to hit subscribe on whatever platform you're listening from. And don't forget, you can follow me on socials at Pharmacy Tech Unfiltered and submit your own anonymous story using the link in the description section. Because the truth is, your story matters, and it might be the one that helps another tech feel less alone. All right, let's get into today's episode. So, a brand new 2025 Shift Pulse report just dropped, and the numbers are, honestly, they're jaw-dropping. But here's the kicker. If you've been working in pharmacy for any length of time, you probably aren't surprised. Out of all healthcare workers surveyed, nurses, lab techs, medical assistants, pharmacists, the pharmacy crew as a whole ranked dead last in job satisfaction. That's right. Out of every role in the healthcare system, from the high-stress ER floors to the night shifts in long-term care, it's us, the techs, the pharmacists, the folks running the workflow, the ones keeping patients safe, who are reporting the least happiness, the lowest morale, and the most burnout. Let me say that again so it really sinks in. We are at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to happiness at work. Not just slightly below average, not just a little frustrated, dead last. And it's not because we're lazy or unmotivated. It's because the system is stacked against us. Understaffed pharmacies, impossible quotas, long shifts, and expectations that somehow we're supposed to be superheroes while still smiling, staying polite, and not letting the chaos show. And these numbers? They aren't just statistics on a page. They're real lives. They're real people like you, showing up every day, giving everything they have, and still feeling undervalued, underpaid, and unseen. And to bring these numbers to life, to put a face, a voice, and a story to what otherwise might just seem like a report, I want to share something that was sent in to me. One of you reached out, sharing a brutally honest, gut-level account of what it's like to live this reality as a pharmacy tech. I'll keep the details anonymous, of course, because this isn't about naming names. It's about showing the truth of our daily grind, the systemic issues, and the emotional toll it takes. To make these numbers real, to show you exactly what it feels like to be at the bottom of that list, here's a message I saw on social media from a pharmacy tech, pouring their heart out about what it's really like on the front lines. Every single day I wake up already exhausted, like my body is sending me warnings before I even step into the pharmacy. And then I clock in, and it's like walking into a war zone. The understaffing is unbearable. There are days when I can't even take a bathroom break without feeling guilty, like I'm letting the team down. My paycheck hasn't increased in years, yet the tasks keep piling on. More prescriptions, more patients, more audits, more pressure to catch every little mistake before it lands on the pharmacist. The burnout? It's suffocating. And it's not just the physical exhaustion. It's the mental weight of knowing that if something goes wrong, no one sees the hours you've put in. The report shows it. We are the least satisfied group in healthcare for a reason. Lack of recognition, lack of career growth, and the constant stress of being expected to do more with less. I've been a tech for a decade. 10 years. And what has that earned me? More responsibility, more stress, and the same stagnant pay. I love helping patients. That's why I got into this field. But some days I feel like I'm drowning in a system that doesn't value me. I see the same patterns over and over. Techs leaving, turnover skyrocketing, and yet nothing changes. We are expected to hold everything together, absorb the pressure, and smile while doing it. And honestly, it's breaking us. The Shift Pulse report just confirmed what we've all felt for years. The system is failing pharmacy workers, and it's crushing morale, health, and hope. Does that sound familiar to anyone listening? Because I know for a fact it does. Here's the real question. If it's this bad, why do so many pharmacy techs stay in jobs they absolutely hate? I want to say this with empathy, not judgment. Because I've been there too. Sometimes we stay for the obvious reasons: the paycheck, the health insurance, the security of a job that feels safe, or the idea that at least it's familiar. But underneath those practical reasons, there's often a much deeper, more insidious force at play. It's self-esteem. When you've been told, subtly or not so subtly, for years by managers, corporate policies, or even pharmacists, that you're replaceable, that you don't matter, that your pay is good enough, a quiet voice starts to creep in. That voice tells you maybe you don't deserve more. That voice chips away at your confidence bit by bit until you stop imagining that you could do anything else. You start believing you're lucky to have what you have. You rationalize the stress, the exhaustion, the disrespect, because it feels safer than confronting the idea that maybe, just maybe, you deserve better. Then there's fear. Fear of starting over. Fear of failing. Fear that the skills you've honed for years don't actually translate anywhere else. Fear that if you leave, you'll hit a wall, that no other place will value the work, the precision, the people skills you bring. That fear is powerful. And here's the thing, leadership knows it. Toxic systems are built on fear. They rely on keeping people scared, small, and compliant, all while extracting more labor than is sustainable. And here's the kicker. Staying too long in a toxic job isn't just about burnout. It's about moral injury. Moral injury is that quiet, gnawing damage that happens when your workplace forces you to act in ways that go against your values, your ethics, or your professional standards. Like rushing prescriptions to meet impossible quotas, ignoring safety red flags, or pushing yourself past exhaustion because calling out isn't an option financially. Every time you compromise what you know is right, just to keep the wheels turning, your mental health takes another hit. It accumulates. It eats at your sense of self-worth. And over time, it's almost invisible to anyone but you. So if you've been blaming yourself for not being able to tough it out, or wondering why you haven't moved on sooner, let me just say this. It's not you. It's the system. It's a workplace designed to keep people compliant, undervalued, and exhausted, all while pretending it's a meritocracy. Your feelings of fear, frustration, or being trapped, they are not personal failings. They are a very human response to a system that is failing you. And here's the truth you need to hear. Recognizing this isn't weakness, it's power. Understanding the psychological levers that keep techs stuck is the first step toward breaking free. Because once you see the system for what it is, you can start taking real, deliberate action to reclaim your career, your confidence, and your life. But here's the part I don't want you to miss. There is a way out. You are not stuck forever. You are not too old, too unskilled, or too far gone. I know it feels like every day the system is designed to keep you trapped, overworked, undervalued, and exhausted. But the truth is, pharmacy techs have some of the most transferable, in-demand skills in healthcare and beyond. Attention to detail, regulatory compliance, problem-solving, patient communication, inventory management, sterile technique. These are not just pharmacy skills. They are skills that companies in pharma, biopharma, QA, clinical trials, medical device, insurance, and manufacturing are actively searching for. And here's the key. You don't have to leap overnight, but you can start today. Right now. One small deliberate step at a time. Here's how. 1. Take stock of your skills. Pull out a notebook or open a doc and write down everything you do in a typical day, from compounding to insurance troubleshooting, patient counseling to software documentation. Then look at it through a fresh lens. These aren't just tasks, these are accomplishments. They're measurable, marketable, and they show responsibility, precision, and reliability. Treat it like a treasure map, because that's exactly what it is. Update your resume. Even if you're not applying yet, start crafting a resume that highlights achievements, not just duties. Did you train new hires? Reduce errors? Streamline workflow? Those are your wins. And don't feel like you have to do it alone. Use AI tools like ChatGPT or Canva to structure it cleanly, write strong bullet points, and tailor it for the kind of role you want next. Think of your resume as your personal marketing brochure, because it is the research pivot paths. Set aside 20 minutes today and just look. Google pharma or healthcare adjacent roles in your area, manufacturing assistant, QA associate, prior authorization specialist, clinical data coordinator. Just look. Get curious. Bookmark roles that catch your eye, even if you don't meet every requirement yet. Curiosity is your first spark. Fourth, find your community. You don't have to do this alone. Burnout and underpayment thrive in isolation. That's why I created the Pharmacy Tech Unfiltered Facebook group, a space to talk openly about burnout, career moves, and strategies to get out of the cycle. Connect with people who understand, ask questions, share wins, and learn from those who have already pivoted successfully. Being in a supportive community changes everything. 5. Set one tiny goal. Momentum starts with a single step. Pick something you can do this week. Update your LinkedIn profile, apply to one job, reach out to a recruiter, or even just make a list of potential roles. It doesn't have to be massive, it just has to exist. The act of starting breaks the cycle of feeling stuck. Here's the truth. Pharmacy leadership isn't going to swoop in and rescue you. They've made it clear where their priorities lie, and it's not with us. But here's the good news. We can rescue ourselves, and we can lift each other up along the way. Every small step, every tiny shift in focus, every connection you make moves you closer to a better position, better pay, and a healthier work-life balance. And never forget, the skills you've honed, the patience, precision, and dedication you've cultivated over years of being on the front lines, those are your leverage. They are your ticket out of toxic cycles and into roles that finally recognize your worth. So take one action today. 1. And then watch how the momentum builds. Before you know it, you're not just surviving, you're strategically thriving. So, as you sit with this episode and let it sink in, I want you to remember something crucial. You are not alone, and you are not powerless. I know that hearing the shift pulse numbers, seeing that pharmacy techs are the least satisfied healthcare workers, can feel like a gut punch. It's frustrating, exhausting, and frankly unfair. But let's flip the script for a moment. Those numbers aren't just depressing, they're a wake-up call. They're proof that this system isn't valuing us properly, and that we need to take intentional steps to reclaim our worth and our careers. We don't have to accept being at the bottom of the satisfaction chart. We have a voice, a network, and a set of skills that are in high demand. We have years of experience that companies outside of retail and hospital pharmacy would give anything for. And most importantly, we have each other. Together, we can call out toxic leadership, advocate for fair compensation, and chart a path toward careers that respect our time, expertise, and mental health. If you got something valuable from today's episode, here's what I want you to do next. Follow the show so you never miss an episode that speaks to your experience. Share it with a coworker, friend, or fellow tech who needs to hear they're not alone. And join me on socials at Pharmacy Tech Unfiltered, where we talk openly, strategize, and support one another through the challenges that come with this career. And here's something extra. If you've got a story to share, the good, the bad, or the fully unfiltered truth about your experience as a pharmacy tech, submit it through the link in the description. Your story might just be the one that sparks change, inspires someone else to act, or finally makes leadership pay attention. The more voices we have, the stronger our message becomes. So take this moment with you. Stand tall, protect your energy, and remember that you deserve better. Your skills, your dedication, and your voice are not invisible. You are capable of creating the career and life you want, one intentional step at a time. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Until next time, take care of yourself, honor your worth, and never settle for less than you deserve. The path forward starts with awareness and grows through action, and I'll be here with you every step of the way.